Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Blues Solos with Comping. In this series we look at how to get back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar accompaniment. First, I'll perform Blues Solo with Comping in the key of C number 1, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go with Blues Solo with Comping in the key of C number 1. In this exercise we have a 12-bar blues that I've broken down into 3 4-bar phrases. In each 4-bar phrase we'll go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar accompaniment, otherwise known as comping. So we'll do a little call and response. We'll play like a lead guitar lick, and then we'll go to the rhythm guitar accompaniment back and forth. We'll be using a couple of scales in this exercise, as well as a couple of other little tricks that I'll explain as we get to them within the example. Let's go ahead and look at the scales. The first scale is the C minor pentatonic, located around the 8th fret. And next we'll have the C major pentatonic, located around the 8th fret. Now that we've looked at the scales, let's go ahead and break down phrase number 1. So we're going to start this solo on a pickup. And a pickup means that you're leading into the first bar or the first phrase in this case. And this is a particularly long pickup. We're going to use the major pentatonic in the beginning here. And we have a double stop, and this is out of the minor pentatonic, but we're going to hammer on into the major pentatonic. We have another double stop here, and this is mixed pentatonic. Back to that double stop we just had, and then we're going to come down the minor pentatonic scale and then end on the major third of our chord or the major pentatonic scale. So it's always good to end your licks on a chord tone. At this point we'll go into the accompaniment pattern, which is an abbreviated C7. So here I have flatted 7, 3, and 5, and I'm going to actually be hammering on into this 3. And then I have a quick move to this, which is, as you can see, like an F chord, but it's just really movement around our C7th harmony, so we're not really changing to an F chord. So we're going to go and then back to the abbreviated C. And then on to the next part of our phrase. We're going to use this device that's very common. These are sixths. So they're 6 notes apart in our scale. So our first 6th shape looks like this, 12 and 12. And we're going to walk that down chromatically, 11 and 11, and then 10 and 10. And then we change our shape here to 9 and 8. These 2 notes happen to be part of our C chord, and it's always good to be ending on chord tone. So you see how I have the 3rd here and the root of my C chord. And after we finish off with the 6, we'll go back into the comping, which is the same as we had before. Let's see if we can put all of that together. the second phrase. So at this point in the progression, we're leading into the 4-chord F7, and I'm starting with these notes that are in the major pentatonic. So I'm starting with this double stop into a hammer on here on the 2nd string, 10th fret. And then that's in our minor pentatonic. And then I'm ending on this note out of the major pentatonic. It's an A note. A happens to be the 3rd of our F7 chord. So we're ending on a chord tone. We're leading into the F chord and we end on an F chord tone. And then we go down to the 1st fret and play the same accompaniment pattern that we did before, except it's based on F7. So we have an abbreviated F7 chord, flat 7, 3, 5, and I'm doing that same hammer. And then we go to this, which is quick movement around F harmony. It technically is like a B flat triad. And we go back to our abbreviated F7. And then we're going to come back up for sort of a response lick to that first lead-in F lick that we played. It's going to end differently though, because at this point, at the end of this lick, we're going to come out on a C 7th chord. So we'll start that out the same. And then we'll end on this E note. And that happens to be the 3rd of our C or C 7th chord. And so we're ending on a C chord tone here because we're coming out on a C chord. So after that lick, we go to our C accompaniment pattern. Same as we had before. Let's see if we can put all of that together. Here's the last phrase. So at this point in the progression, we're headed toward the 5 chord, and I'm playing just sort of a mixed pentatonic lick. Starts out major, then I have a little quarter to half bend here in the minor pentatonic, and then back to the root C. And now I'm going to outline the 5 chord G by sliding into its major 3rd here, B. So I'm just thinking chord tones at this point. And then D is the 5th of G, so I'm outlining a G chord. And then I'm going to walk my accompaniment down from the top part of a G9. So there's full G9, but I'm using this much of it. Chromatically down to like partial F9, so there's full F9. I'm just playing those 3 strings. And then this is mixed pentatonic. Ending on the root C. And then we're using our abbreviated C 7th again with the hammer. And then I'm using these 9th chords. This one implies A flat 9. So I'm just using the top part of it. And then the top part of a G9. There's full G9. And then we'll end on a 13th chord. And this is just an abbreviated 13th chord. So we have flat 7, 3, this is the 6 or 13, and the root on top. Let's hear that whole last phrase. That's it for Blues Solo with Comping in the Key of C number 1. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.